Hi, I'm Matt from Tubby Tarot. Welcome to 10 Talk Tuesday. Today I'd like to ask you a very interesting question. It's a question I haven't seen any videos on YouTube about, and it's something that I think we should all think about. What happens when a reading does not come true? That's coming up right after this. Hi, and welcome back. This is a very contentious question because it's a question that I get a lot from people who don't believe in tarot readings and who don't believe in the esoteric anything. And they say to me, okay, but what if you do a reading for Mrs. Jones and none of it comes true? Nothing, nada, zip. That's a very valid question, and it's a really hard one to answer because has it happened to you as a reader? Have you ever had a client come back to you in 3 months and say, you know what, not a single thing that you've told me has come true? Nothing. How do you handle it? What do you do? Does it tarnish your reputation as a reader? Does it tarnish your belief in yourself as a reader? Okay. I think that sort of thing would be like quite difficult to swallow as a reader, because you would immediately think to yourself, wow, this is why? What have I done wrong? What have the cards done wrong? Am I using the wrong deck? Whatever. Especially if you are a new reader, if you are somebody who has not been reading tarot for a long time. I have had 1 or 2 clients come to me very soon after a reading and say, nothing's happened. You're talking rubbish. I don't know where you got all that information from, but your cards are crap. If you're a new reader, you're going to take that to heart. You're going to perhaps doubt yourself. You're going to doubt the cards. Me, I just say to them, you have to give it time to unfold. Let's have a look at the couple of things that you might think it is if the reading doesn't come true. Is it the cards? Let's say I'm going to do a reading with the Rackham Tarot. Okay, there it is. And this reading turns out to be a reading that does not come true. Should I have done the reading with the Mystic Tarot? Should I have done that? What's the difference between these two tarot cards? Two tarot decks? Is there a vast difference? Of course, the artwork is completely different. The cards are the cards. No matter what obscure tarot cards you use, the cards are the cards. They have the same meanings, okay? And it's up to you as a reader to actually get get that information out to the questioner. So it doesn't come true, and what do you say to the client? First of all, you can say to the client, give it time. The other thing that happens is it's not set in stone. A reading is not set in stone. A reading doesn't mean if I tell you that you are going to have a career move, that doesn't mean that within the next 3 months you will have a drastic career move. It's going to happen. What it means is you have the blueprint to make a career move. There's a vast difference between you are going to change jobs and here is a little push, a little nudge, a little blueprint to you changing jobs. That is what tarot does. It's a blueprint, it's a roadmap. It is not the final destination. Okay. Now, what could happen to change a reading? Oh my gosh, anything can happen to change a reading. Anything. The client can decide then and there they will not accept the reading, and therefore they will not look for what you've told them to look for. They will not accept what you've told them to accept. They will not do what the cards have suggested. They deliberately go out to make that reading not true because it doesn't suit them. So that's one reason. The other reason is, and this happens a lot with new people who think that they can interpret and do readings, especially people who are doing readings, they get a deck of cards, within 3 weeks they've opened their doors to paying customers. You've actually interpreted wrong. All right? You have interpreted the cards entirely wrong, and of course that reading will not come true. Okay, that's a second one. Very, very few times have I come across that. That's the second way that you can botch a reading. Okay. The other way that a reading can be botched is if there is a massive amount of outside influence and your client is an easily influenced person. So if there's a lot of outside influence, and this would come through in the reading, but it might be something that the reader doesn't emphasize, okay? And then when the client is out in the real world again, not in the reading room, not in your energy sort of vortex, they will be very, very influenced by outside people, things, okay? And they will then, like the first lot of people who deliberately try not to make a reading work, they will then feel that it's too much hard work, or they will then feel that the cards were talking rubbish. The outside influence is far more realistic, okay, and therefore they will claim they will not listen to the cards. And I think this is the biggest issue that we have with readings not coming true. The reading will always come true in some way. Even if you're a novice and you've really fucked the reading up completely, there will still be some measure of truth and some measure of materialization that comes through. Whether it's the way the client imagines it or not plays a huge factor. You might say that there is an elderly gentleman, a male influence coming into your life to be a mentor. What is their idea of that character? They might see, you said the word mentor, immediately they will think work. You've said elderly gentleman, they immediately think an old man with a stick. Can you see where I'm going with this? Whereas it could be an older male, say 5 years older than them, 10 years older than them, and it might not be at work, it might be somewhere else, it might be their barman. It's in here with the client. What are their expectations? Often clients do have unrealistic expectations, and they imprint this or map this over the reading. They map their expectation over the reading, and that can be a huge problem. That can be a problem where you are seeing that mapped energy is actually pushing what wants to happen, what wants to come through. It's just pushing it down. Does that make sense? It kind of makes sense when I explain it to myself in my head. But it also does. It also depends on energies. If the client is constantly pushing back at the universe or whatever is trying to come through, that reading will not happen. That reading will not manifest. Okay, that does not mean that you are a bad tarot reader. All right. The other thing I want to say to you is, if this happens to you, don't get discouraged. Don't get upset. Don't feel that you are doing something wrong as a reader. You are not. You're an interpreter. You are looking at what, in essence, the client's subconscious is throwing back at them. Okay? And that is all you are doing. You are interpreting the cards. And it is now up to the client to take that interpretation and use it to the best of their ability. And if they don't want to, or if they are too afraid to, that is not your problem. You've done your part of the deal. Okay? All right. Something to think about. Please, if you have any comments to make, leave them below. You know I love comments, and this is a very contentious subject, so I'd love to hear you disagree with me, because that's one of the ways that I learn stuff, is if people disagree with me and tell me their version of what they believe. If you are going to disagree with me, please do it kindly and gently, because I'm a gentle soul. Okay, I'm Matt from Tubby Tarot saying, I'll see you on the flip side.